guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Walker Ford in Clearwater, Florida, and guess what? We have that one truck that really has been the talk of the town. This is it. This is a 2023 Ford F-150 Lightning. But before we get into this full-size, dual-motor, electrified pickup truck, let's talk about what's going on here. Times, they are a-changing, and so is the auto industry. A lot of vehicles and a lot of manufacturers going towards electrification. Ford has been very careful and decisive with how they make their moves. Remember, the Mach-E being that first mass-produced electric vehicle from Ford has been a pretty good success, but really it was this vehicle that many people were waiting for, because when you think of Ford, most people would think of the F-150 pickup truck. So with this truck, they brought back a name, the Lightning, once reserved for their high performance trucks through SVT, which was the special vehicle teams, which is now Ford Performance. But now the Lightning name is taking a little bit of a different spin. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this F-150 Lightning Platinum trim. This is the top trim, and see if this is better than the new Silverado EV coming out, and also that GMC Sierra Denali EV that's going to be coming soon as well. Let's go ahead and dive in. Right off the bat, I think the one thing that is making the Lightning very popular is that it looks exactly like an F-150. Now, at the front of the business, they did a really great job on exterior lighting, and that is an area where electric vehicles are really playing a big role in building personality, is through the exterior and interior lighting. So you're gonna get this very massive daytime running lamp that actually goes around the exterior of your headlight housing, but then coasts all the way across to the other side. If you go with a base XL, it does not have the brow across the center. It's just around the headlight. So that's one way to tell if one's a base or one of the higher trims like this Platinum. Now, when it comes to their headlight design, they did a great job. Full LEDs, turn signals, the projector beam headlight, and your daytime running lamp. Of course, as we come across that area, which normally we would see a grille, I think Ford did a great job with creating a look that makes it blend in with an F-150, but you could tell that this is something unique. You got the massive blue oval, that Ford badge, forward-facing camera, and then as we drop down, no F-150 is complete without its tow hooks. You have your massive air intake in the lower center here, because we do have a liquid-cooled lithium-ion battery pack in the belly of this beast. And then on top of that, remember, this front portion is gonna open up, and that's where we're gonna have that front-mounted trunk that Ford is officially calling a frunk. Now, as we get up onto the frunk, body line's exactly the same. It almost seems like I could open this up and there would be an internal combustion engine underneath the hood. As we come around the bend, we have some massive wheels and tires. So these wheels are specific to the Lightning and are specific to the Platinum trim. Massive machined aluminum sections, gloss black area, looking really tough with the multiple lugs, of course. And then this is a 22-inch wheel, 275 on the width, meaty 50 series sidewall. And then remember, we're gonna have a motor up front and a motor out back to give us that 4x4 grip that you want. Now, going down the side, you are gonna get your charge port door, of course, which will open up on the driver's side. You do get color matched mirror caps, 360-degree mirrors. And what I do like, going back to the charge port door, I love the way they got the Platinum name to show the trim. Ford has always been good at showing off those trims. From the cab standpoint, like I said, just looking like an F-150 should. You're gonna have your stationary running boards, which are specific to the Platinum trim. And then continuing back, of course, we're gonna get that nice full-size aluminum bed. Coming towards the rear, you could see how they did the suspension. I'm gonna have Steven zoom in and show off the rear portion of the suspension, the steel box frame. Also, another thing they did just phenomenal is the Lightning badge. interesting that they were able to take that name and it makes sense on an electrified truck. I still would want an original Lightning. That would be my thing. But as we kind of spin it around, what do we got going on here? You're gonna have that same great setup of the rear tailgate. So we have our LED lighting that goes all the way across, your LED reverse lamps. Of course, you're gonna have full tow capability with this electrified Lightning. And then you do have a spare mounted underneath, and probably two of the largest rear lower control arms I've ever seen. Absolutely crazy because of the weight of this vehicle. And then that nice automatic electric opening tailgate. We have our workstation where you and your friends can measure what you have and see whose is the longest when it comes to all different types of things, maybe fish you catch, maybe pieces of wood. And then of course you got that massive bed with the bed liner. I think the biggest talking point is gonna be over here on the driver's side, because we have, of course, that power generator. You could actually power your house for 3 days on the bare minimum right from the truck as it's fully charged. You got LED lighting, and then we even have, of course, that step system that is built into the tailgate. But why don't we go ahead? We talked about the exterior. Look at this, no hands, Mom. Goes right up. We talked about the exterior of the truck. Let's check out that frunk and see what kind of room we have in this Lightning. All right, guys, time to get into that front mounted trunk. You hit the button just like the tailgate. It is electric assist. Up she goes, and no, you cannot open or close it while you're driving. The truck must be stationary. But what's great about the truck is that you could use it as a cooler. You got tons of storage space. You even have more connectivity than some people's apartments. 4 home plug sources, a USB-C and a USB-A. But looking at that space, it's very flexible in its utility. And since there's no engine and we have the 2 electric motors, let's talk about power. You have those 2 electric motors producing 580 horsepower, 775 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a direct drive transmission. The vehicle weighs 6,900 pounds, 0 to 60 in about 3.9 seconds, quarter mile in 12.6 seconds at 107 miles per hour. And the big news is the MPGs, 73 on city roads, 60 on highway, and it has a range advertised of 300 miles with the extended range battery. But you know what? It's not just about the frunk, not just about the exterior. Let's get to the interior and see why the F-150 might be the better truck over the competition. Let's get inside. But first, we need to see it in motion. Let's see this Lightning strike and go. All right, guys, we're inside this Ford F-150 Lightning. Same name, but a little bit different of a change. Actually, a lot of a difference of changes, but there has been a lot of popularity behind this truck. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm curious about this EV stuff. I'm even more curious about the price. With this being the top trim, the platinum trim, how much is it? Very good question. MSRP for the way that this one is optioned is right around $98,000. Let's see what you get for the money and how it stacks up to the competition. To the door panel. I do love what Ford has done. The leather, the contrast stitching, the piping, the Alcantara material. There's even some real nice wood style finish there that really makes this truck feel high end. You have this metallic smoky gray material. I am gonna zonk it because it does show fingerprints, but what I do like is in the center, you have your Twinkie tray, 3 electrified Twinkies. We got the optional B&O sound system, and you got a door pocket large enough to where you could go to Jersey Mike's and get a sub, and go to Subway and get your cold cut trio, just like you've always had ever since you were in college. Going from the door panel to the dash, more of that great material with the stitching. Of course, we got plenty of storage. This is where you could put maybe, you know, you've been told not to have the snacks, so you're gonna keep your Snickers and your Milky Ways in there away from prying eyes. We do have a 12 volt, and we do have, I'll close this one and I'll open it, a home power source. And then we got that ginormous portrait style infotainment system, 15.5 inches, full touchscreen capability, Sync 4 operation, very intuitive, very easy to use. You could go into your Apple CarPlay, everything's wireless. You got your Sketch, where you could do all sorts of things. For example, you know, you could be like, that's a heart if you're wondering. Really nicely done here, the operation of the screen. But there you go. Who wouldn't want that there? So working your way down, you then have your other options. The one thing I do zonk is you do have a volume knob, which is nice, but all the AC controls are all through the touchscreen, which when you're driving can be a little cumbersome. That's all I gotta say. Sitting here, it's not a big deal, but driving it could be an issue. I throw it into reverse. There's your backup camera. Nice resolution with the 360. Put it back in the park, and we're right back where we started. Working your way down, more of that wood finish. Open up this ginormous door. You have wireless charging, USB-C and a USB-A. You got a place for a Slim Jim, one of those small Slim Jims you get at the convenience store, 2 cup holders, and then there is your key fob. Would be nice if it said lightning there. Remote start. It's actually remote turn on to where you could open up the rear lift gate or the frunk. There is no remote start because this doesn't have an engine. It's got 2 motors. This is going to control that direct drive transmission. And remember, you can fold it down because you have that nice leather with the platinum badge, microfiber suede material, and the stitching turns right into your workstation. You could maybe roll some sushi, chop it up. Maybe you want to surprise your significant other and chop up all the veggies for dinner. Or you could do a little typing, maybe get one of those little small Casio little keyboards, and you could do like Wish Upon a Star or Over the Rainbow or something as you're sitting bored out of your mind. And then you put it back. Open this up. This is where you could put that treasured signed football from the fridge. When the Chicago Bears won the 1985 Super Bowl, you could put that signed football there that you had the fridge, and the rest of the Bears put their autograph on, your prized possession, plenty of room, and you got a nice little tray to where you can put all your football cards. And even that old gum, you know that gum that's just like totally stale, you could put that in there with that you got with the football cards. I'm gonna make this pop back up before I forget. And then the seats. You actually have speakers in the headrest. There's that B&O signature there, the platinum badge, the leather is super soft, full electric assist for the passenger and for the driver. And then to top it off, we do have that panoramic sunroof. Ginormous in size, one-touch operation. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Lightning. Guys, business time. Behind the wheel, you got that platinum badge, let you know that you went all in on your Ford Lightning. The seat control's easy to get to. I'm 6 feet tall, and it goes without saying you got plenty of room in here, I promise. Steering wheel, nice leather with the white contrast stitching. They even silvered out the blue oval, the Ford badge. Like the little bit of black, flat black on all the buttons is electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you got that beautiful digital display with all that great information. The one thing that it is missing is a head-up display. That definitely is a bit of a zonk. But let's get into the back seat and see how much room we have in this Lightning. All right, guys, back seat time. And obviously, especially with this being an electrified vehicle, you got a nice flat bottom floor because, like I said, underneath the floor is that lithium-ion battery pack. Love the way they got the two-tone leather, especially the darker portion. This is gonna be easier to clean. Large pockets. You could easily put, I would say, the biography of Nikola Tesla in this back area. And then, of course, you have a command center fit for a king. Heated seats, no ventilated seats. That is a zonk, especially if you're a king for real. Home power source, USB-C, USB-A, and your rear AC vents. Like I said, plenty of room. And then a nice semi-soft, I was gonna say super soft, I jumped the gun. Semi-soft armrest with 2 cup holders and the same great leather, but you know what? It's time to see how this Platinum Lightning zooms down the road. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's see it in action. All right, guys, we are in this Ford F-150 Lightning Platinum trim, leaving Walker Ford, and we're gonna go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. All of that power coming from the electric motors, the instant torque, over 700 pound-feet of torque, gets you going. And what I like about the Lightning is that it's not a bunch of artificial sound in the cabin and everything. It feels natural. Obviously it's quiet, and that is the weird part behind it, but it feels like an F-150 in here. Of course, getting to that ginormous 15.5-inch infotainment system screen is so simple, and some of the things that I love about this screen is just the usability. I'm gonna go ahead and go put into sport mode, and of course we're gonna go on throttle again once the light turns green. But you have all of your different cameras you could access. Everything is so easy from this section. And if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. That's the one thing that's gonna blow your mind, is just how quick it accelerates because of that instant torque. And another thing is that this F-150 Lightning actually handles better than a standard Lightning because of where that center of gravity is. So it does have its pluses compared to a standard F-150 going with the electrification route. Now the dash, easy to read. I love the way you got a power gauge, you got that regen braking, and like I was saying, you could make all these adjustments right from the screen. And there's that camera angle I was telling you about with the 360. You click on that little mirror there, and then now you could zoom in on all four corners if you want. And of course, it only stays up there for so long because they don't want you to be distracted while you're driving. I think another thing that I like about this Lightning is definitely getting out onto the highway, because once again, especially being the Platinum trim, you take advantage of the great ride of the suspension, all of the interior appointments, the connectivity, and just how smooth everything is in this truck. I guess the biggest question that most people have is about that range, and like I said, it really is going to come down to use and how much towing you're going to do and whatnot. That's going to obviously dictate what that range number is going to be in the end. But I like when I get off the throttle, the regen braking happens on the power outlet here with the gauge. It tells you exactly what's happening with the recharging and with your battery consumption. And then I have in the center there the off-road gauge for pitch and roll, which is kind of cool just to have that, especially with the colors and the graphics and the fonts and everything. But very smooth, very comfortable. I think one of the things that maybe you might miss that should be in here is something like massage seats, since it is a Platinum trim F-150 Lightning. But that's really just being a little bit nitpicky. I really think that for an electrified truck, Ford really hit the nail on the head with creating a vehicle that not only their fan base is really gonna like, but also people that they're trying to get into the brand by producing this electrified F-150. But like I was saying, the sync system is so easy to use. I mean, it's a 1, 2, 3 thing, and it's nice having all the wireless connectivity. Of course, you're getting all the Ford safety features, the blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, emergency brake assist, all those things to keep you and your family safe. And then here we are driving down the road, and it's just super smooth. But hopefully this has been a good overall review of the F-150 Lightning Platinum trim. We're gonna get back to Walker Ford and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a wild and wacky day here at Walker Ford. I definitely want to thank the whole team here. Obviously, Frank Walker, Western Walker, Tracy, Mark, the whole group getting us access to this Ford Lightning. Let me know what you think. Platinum trim. Are you going Lightning over the Silverado EV or the Sierra Denali EV? Don't even mention the freaking Cybertruck because that has not been built yet. So you can't say that, but let me know in the comment section which way you would go. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radies Rides family. Definitely got to give it up to Steven. He's out here making it happen. He's burning the candle at both ends and he doesn't give a damn. So Steven, thank you for your hard work. Show him some love in that comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.